So let's have a look at what we have going on here for our Virgos. You guys are working. I don't know what's been going on, but you guys are working hard. That's what's coming up here. The Knight of Pentacles, that is a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn energy. It's an earth energy. I mean, obviously, those placements can be anywhere. But usually, I do see the underlying energy as the energy of this person or the sign that I'm reading for. It's a general reading, so any of the energies can apply to someone else, but they'd have to be really central to the story, to your story for this energy to be theirs. This is that slow and steady wins the race kind of card. Whenever the knights show up, or the princes in this deck, but the knights show up, they show progress, movement. They kind of dash ahead, they move forward. This is the slowest moving knight though. And that's not because he's lazy or he's incompetent. On the contrary, he is very diligent. He makes sure every step that he takes is the right step. Now, he's also more reliable than any of the other knights. The Knight of Wands can come charging in and charge out again. He's out looking for fun. The Knight of Swords can leave on a whim, like, he's off fighting his beliefs. But the Knight of Pentacles, or the Prince of Pentacles here even, he is very good at, seeing it through to the end. He's going to do it step by step by step, but he's very slow. But he'll make sure all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed. Now, each of the cards has a lighter aspect and a darker aspect. So that's the light of it, that he gets things done. The darker aspect of this is someone who can get so caught up in the planning. Is so caught up in, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to make sure there's a plan, I have to make sure everything's done. Like working harder and not smarter. That can be that kind of energy. So be careful that you're not doing that. Sometimes it can be that, we get so caught up in making sure the job is so perfect that, and I have a Virgo moon sign, so there's no judgment. This is applying to me as much as it is to you. It can be this sense of, paying too much attention to the details and just getting on with it. Like you might be looking for the best plan ever, and sometimes we just need to go with it. The reason I'm saying that to you is that we have the High Priestess coming up at the heart of your reading. She's a card. This is a card that speaks of trusting your instincts. She's the keeper of all secrets. She's the keeper of all knowledge. So when she shows up in a reading, there can be things that we're not aware of, especially when you have the moon sat right next to it, and you guys do. But when she shows up, especially at the heart of your reading, she's telling you to trust your instincts. You have a gut feeling about this. There's something that intuitively know about your situation. She comes up and she's telling you to trust that and to go with that. With this kind of Knight of Pentacles energy that's coming up at the beginning, it kind of feels like there may be this sense of wanting, guarantees or plans, or trying to make sure everything's done perfectly or everything's done in the way that it needs to be done. And she's like, you may not get the guarantees for everything, but you kind of know which way to go. You know which way you're headed. Now, this can be for work. This can be for a relationship. And the reason I'm kind of going on about that, unseen, intuitive, kind of going with your gut feeling message that's coming through is because we have the moon coming up in the past. Things have been confusing for a while, right, Virgo? With the moon card coming up, this is confusion, things not being as they seem. Some of you may be starting off on new paths because we see this, I think it's a little lobster or a crayfish coming out of the sea. And the path, only some of the path is revealed. We don't see the full path. We just see some of the path. And think about it. When we go out into a garden, if we go out at noon, every blade of grass is revealed to us. We can see everything. And yet under the moonlight, even if it's a full moon, there can be shadows. It can be frightening. We don't know what's out there. Even if it's our own backyard, it's our own garden, we don't know what's there. So what this card says to you is that things are not as they seem right now. And it's really easy to focus on the bits that we can see, right? And it's like, okay, I can go that far up the path, but I'm not going to do the rest of it because I can't see it. I don't know what's there. Now, the moon also talks about illumination, but for me, the illumination, it's not so much what we're shown, it's what we're not shown. And that's where this comes in, our instincts. There's a strong message here about trusting your instincts, Virgo. Trusting your instincts. There's something that you know. Because the moon card doesn't just talk about, it asks you a question. And the question is, can you go on this path on faith? Are you going to do what he's doing? Which, he wouldn't go. He'd stop there and be like, okay, how can I light up that bit? How do I find out what's ahead? That's why he moves so slowly, because he makes sure it's all done properly. But, do you do that? Or would you be like, sorry, I thought I was hitting the mic there. Or do you think, I have the confidence. I'm willing to take that leap of faith. I'm going to go the route. I'm going to go along that route on faith alone. I have the confidence to do that. I trust my instincts. I trust my intuition. I have a gut feeling about this, and I know that's the right direction for me to go. So there is that kind of sense of that, like, you know, trusting your instincts, trusting your gut feeling here. Some of you aren't, though, because we have the Hanged Man coming up in the present. Now, the present energy, I usually say it's the main energy for this period, but it could be like it's the middle of the month. I've already done an October reading for you. See how this ties in with that. But this could just be now how you start the middle of the month. And with the Hanged Man, this is someone who's waiting for a change of perspective. He's waiting around as well. He's waiting to have a change of perspective. This is a very deliberate pose. He's gone and hung himself up there so he can see the world from a different angle. He's upside down. He sees everything differently now. And, you know, this can talk about sacrifice. Sometimes we have to sacrifice something when this card comes up. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything huge. It can be anything like if you want to get fit. Like if your whole thing is, I want to get fit. You might have to give up alcohol. You might have to give up, I don't know, snacks or smoking or something. Like it can be that kind of energy. But it seems to be through this. Now, this is going to play out differently for everyone. But what I will say to you is that for some of you, you're doing this planning thing to change your perspective. Like you're trying to formulate a plan. You're trying to go step by step to see what's there, to get the information that you need to move forward. That's what's kind of coming up here. For others of you, like as much as this is Major Arcana, and Major Arcana, I say, is energy that happens to us. It's not usually energy that, you know, we put out. I mean, we always have free will, so we can use that energy. Sorry, I just realized I was waving my hand around in front of my face. You can use this energy, like, you know, the Major Arcana energy, whatever it is. This can sometimes be us, especially when the Knight of Pentacles sat above it. Where we are not moving forward because we're like, well, if I just knew if I could just have a guarantee for that, if I knew where this was going. And it's understandable. I mean, no judgment. I'm exactly the same way. If you've gone through this, if you've gone through a time of mass confusion where nothing has been as it seemed, you've not known who to trust, you've not known what's out there, there's been like confusion, and you've still been going the path. I think a lot of you have been going on faith. You might have come to a place now where you're like, you know, just someone give me some answers. Someone just tell me exactly what's happening here so I know what to do, how to go forward. Some of you may be waiting for something. Like you may have already put in the work and now you're waiting for the result of that. But that's usually the Three of Wands. I would see the Three of Wands as that kind of energy. This is a change of perspective. It's a very spiritual card. It talks about having patience, but it's talking about things are going to get moving again very soon. With the Hanged Man, they do get moving and they get moving very quickly. Once that Hanged Man energy, once you've done that, it's like not penance exactly, but it's like, you know, when the yogis go off into the jungle to get some kind of enlightenment, or, you know, you go do something to get this inner knowledge. It's similar to the Hermit card, but it's not so much inwards. I always see with the Hanged Man, it's outwards. It's what we see around us. We're waiting for a change in perspective there. Some of you may be waiting for something. I feel like some of you know what it is. You know what to expect. And the reason I say that is because something does come in. That's what's coming in with the future energy. We have the Princess of Pentacles here, the Page of Pentacles, I'm going to keep calling her, and she is the page. Pages or princesses are always messengers. They bring offers, they bring news. What are pentacles? Pentacles can be to do with money and finances, investments, you know, the practical aspects of our life. I have seen this card represent everything. I mean, that pentacle, that's something of value. That is something of value to you. It's something that you could hold in your hands. It's something tangible. I've seen this card represent everything from an engagement ring that is offered to a new job contract to a contract on a house. So, you know, this can represent something that is of value to us. Whatever it is that you're waiting. Well, you're not even waiting for it. You've bloody worked for it. It's not been easy. You've been moving towards it slowly. Some of you have been doing this for a long time. Some of you have been marching through darkness to get to this, going on faith alone. And now you have her, and you have a gut feeling, you know which way this is going to go. I think you know this offer is coming. Some of you know that this offer is coming, or this kind of whatever it is, it's coming to you. But still, there can still be doubts. So maybe that's what this is. Maybe some of you are waiting here with this Hanged Man energy. You're waiting for this to come in. And it does come in. You have the Page of Pentacles there. So what's the advice? What is the advice for you? What's the crowning energy here? We have the Eight of Pentacles. This is like, keep doing what you're doing. Now, the Eight of Pentacles, it's work, it's effort that we put in, it's focused work, it's diligent work. But it's not so much, I mean, these two together, they can seem very similar. They can seem like very similar energies. But this is the apprentice who's trying to learn a trade, trying to learn something new. Some of you may be starting new jobs, doing something different. This doesn't just have to be work. This could be, you've been working at a relationship. You've been working at some kind of, let me see. It doesn't have to be a relationship. What was I saying? Like, yeah, sorry, a relationship on yourself. We've been working on ourselves. We've been trying to get things practically in place in our life, like, working away at stuff. And I don't like to call it work. When people say, oh, I've been working on myself. That's life. That's not work. We do learn and we grow every single day. Every relationship, every encounter that we have, it changes us in some way. And that is work, right? That's work that we do. But when we call it work, it sounds like we go out of our way to do it. When really, all we do is breathe and we go through this anyway. So these two are very similar energies, but this guy's more kind of methodical and he's kind of put more thought into it. This one's more focused. He doesn't mind doing the work because he knows where it's going to get him. Where does it get him? It gets him this offer. It gets him whatever this is, whatever this news is. This represents a new beginning, a new practical beginning. And it's a page. So, it's not like going to be the king or queen. The pages, they lack the maturity of the knights of, even he's more advanced than the page. So for some of you, this may be going back a little bit. And the reason I say that is if we have the knight as an underlying and we have this coming up in the future, this is something new. This is something new that you're kind of headed towards, something new that you're focused on. Some of you you could be starting a new job where, you take a step back because this is that apprenticeship card, but you're learning something new. It's not like being demoted. It's not like being sent back or put back in any way. It's not that kind of a sense. This seems like a good thing, especially if you've been waiting for it like this. But it's like learning something new, doing something new, starting anew. Could be a fresh start, like, a new job, new relationship, but at a very practical level. Pentacles are always very stable. I always say this, that, anything that begins with pentacle energy, it has that potential to stand the test of time. And pentacles, they represent stability, security, and support. So whatever this is, whatever this offer is or news that you're waiting for, that's what it does. It offers you stability, security, and support. It says playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. I can imagine, though, look how many pentacles you have. He's not exactly a barrel of laughs. He's all about work. He gets the job done. If you've been going through, like, the moon energy, you're not going to be frolicking around in the moon, are you? You're like, you're trying to figure out what's out there. Trying to get a change. But, while you're waiting, why not? Why not have some of this playfulness? So there is a need here. Things have been very serious. There's a lot of serious energies here, especially with her. Like, she doesn't look like a barrel of laughs either. She's very passive. She doesn't really share much. She doesn't have a lot of energy to give out. Look how she just stares out from the card. They all do, but there's something extra not stern even. Like, she just kind of stares at you. So, there hasn't been a lot of playfulness. Things have been very serious. And it's a page. The pages are kind of playful energy. So maybe this new offer that comes in, it allows things to kind of ease up. It allows you to get more playful. All right, let's see what we have. I was laughing at Leo's one as well. Virgo, what we have here is have patience. And it says love is patient and kind always. There we go. But you guys are pretty patient. That's one thing I love about Virgos. You guys are patient. You guys can stay the course. That's why this night gets things done. But it's kind of extra. It's kind of, you're waiting. You're waiting for this. Whatever this represents for you, whatever that security, stability, support is, whatever this is commitment. You're committing to something. If you accept that, something long-term begins there. Whatever it is, and like you're going to keep working away at it. It's not like you've given up. You're not stopping. You carry on doing what you're doing. Sustained effort right here. But I guess the have patience card is just a reminder. And like, trust me, I do not like to be told to have patience. I can be pretty patient, and I'm one of those people that I understand that everything happens in its own time. There's divine timing. Everything happens for a reason, but that doesn't mean I always like it. When sometimes I don't want to go. Let's go with this one first. First, the bad news. It's not bad news. And I don't believe in polarity anyway. This one's never-ending story. Look at that person, stressed out. It's like, what, again? That's what that says. If there was a caption for that, that's what it would be. And that's what it kind of feels like, you know, that I'm still waiting. What is going on? I've just been through this. Why is this happening again? Whatever the situation is, it's like it never ends. That's what the never ending story is. Now, for some of you, it can be like, you know, never ending story can, well, it's, I think that's like random round. There's another card in here. Similar. It's like, we end up in the same situation no matter what we do. It's like this story is not ending. It can be in relationships. We date different kinds of people. The faces change, but the situation's the same. And it's like, what? Or we break up with someone and they come back again. And you're like, why is this happening? So never ending story is very much like the name. Like, you know, that story is never ending. And it just kind of tells you that it's time to kind of end that story. Write a different chapter. Do something different. And it feels like you do. Maybe that's why you've done this. Change in perspective. This, like I said, it can talk about sacrificing something, giving something up. It takes sacrifice to do this, but something new comes out of it. This comes out of it. And if you're feeling unsure, I mean, that's the thing with this Knight of Pentacles. He wants everything to be secure and stable, so he can overplan, he can want guarantees, and they're not always there, right? There's a change of perspective, and this is like information that comes to us, you know, something that we're waiting on. It does change our perspective on things, and that will end the story. For better or for worse, that doesn't mean you end up leaving somewhere, or, you know, you can end up, sorry, I was holding it there so you can see the handwriting, the writing on the card. Sorry, you guys are the last one of the day, and I'm like, my energy's up, and you saw the cards flying out, but literally the body's not willing now, and I can't even speak. Oh gosh. I'll just put it down. But with the never ending story, it's asking you to write a new chapter. So you don't have to end the story. It's saying that's that particular chapter, like write a different ending. Do something differently now. And that's what the Hangman is showing with the change of perspective. Now, coming up from the other card, we have number 22, Blessed. I love this card. This is one of those beautiful cards that we have here. You see Blessed. Sorry, my lighting's atrocious. I will have to work on this. Luckily, I went back to the other way of doing things next time. So Blessed, it's a blessing that comes in. And you know, with the energies that come up here, no one's going to believe this. You're not going to believe this because this is that miracle card. This is like a blessing that you don't even know where it comes from. It's the card that says miracles can happen. And on some level, you know, you're probably hoping, you have an instinct, you have your intuition. The thing with you guys is, and you know, like I said, I have a Virgo moon sign, I do this, I understand how it works. That's the beauty of Virgo. You guys are all about the details. What's there? What evidence is there for this? You know, what do we have to work with? What do we have to go on? And it can be difficult sometimes to trust your instincts. And you guys have very good instincts because, you know, you see all the details. You see everything that's there. And you can, some people call it instinct. You guys would probably call it like a calculated assessment of the situation. Again, I'm talking about myself as much as you guys. This is that unseen blessing that comes in. But you don't understand, like you never expected it and it comes in as a blessing. Right. As always, like with the energy oracle cards, I do like to give the affirmation from it. Where is this? Oh, maybe it would help if I explained what the card was first. I'm jumping ahead. Okay, so this is the second chakra, Archangel Ariel. So this is to do with intimacy, creativity. It's the second chakra. We can have intimacy issues when this card comes up. We can be afraid to open up. This card, when it shows up, is a blessing. Again, like the blessed card. And it says it's safe for you to be intimate now. It's safe for you to allow someone in. Or safe for you to create something if you wanted to create whatever it is, whatever project you're working on, whichever direction you want to go in. There is this sense of like, you know, if we need this card to show up, it's because we have intimacy problems. We don't want to allow someone in. We've gone into that defensive mode. Who could blame you? Like, you've been working so hard. You've been trying to fix things, whether it's in a relationship or job or just in your life. You've gone through this time of confusion with the moon. But I always end with the affirmation. This is where I was going, and I jumped ahead without even telling you about the card. But there's an affirmation that goes with each of the energy oracle cards, and I always like to end with it. And this is the affirmation for the second chakra, Archangel Ariel. And it says, my second chakra is open to its perfect, healthy state. I'm creative and self-nurturing, more and more comfortable with the gentle waves of intimacy coming my way.